gets a measure of revenge against Rikishi. But those stories don't end following No Mercy. Welcome to Metal.
Introducing first, weighing 250 pounds, Just Joe.
Just Joe up first here in this hour of Metal, along with Tom Pritchard. I'm Kevin Kelly. We welcome you to the broadcast. Kurt Angle, big moment in his golden career, Tom.
Had to be the biggest moment in Kurt Angle's WWF storied career. The Olympic gold medalist making good on his promise to become the World Wrestling Federation champion, and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley was by his side when he did it.
Once again, a McMahon is involved in the WWF champion's life.
Weighing 246 pounds, El Snow.
But it certainly took a lot of assistance to get Kurt Angle there. Not only did Rikishi get involved in the match, but so did Triple H as well. It was a wild, convoluted tale. If all was said and done, The Rock, for the first time since June, is not in charge of the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And the most decorated first-year competitor in World Wrestling Federation history is on top of things here in the WWF.
It's going to be a very interesting title reign for Kurt Angle, because he's definitely got his work cut out for him with Triple H and The Rock hot on his trail.
The former European champion Al Snow tangling with Just Joe. I think we're going to see some good mat wrestling action in this one, Tom.
Al Snow, Just Joe, you never know.
Standing side headlock. Al Snow, big shoulder block, takes down Just Joe. The Dudley Boys are in the house a little bit later on in tag team action. Who knows, will Essa Rios and Funaki get some wood?
Well, whenever the Dudleys are in town, you know it's always going to be Devon, get the tables, or we're going to have to wait and see if the Dudleys do indeed come through with that promise.
Referee Mike Sparks asking for a clean break and doesn't get one. Just Joe opening up on the midsection of Al Snow. Al turns it around on Just Joe. And it was on SmackDown where we saw Al doing battle with Raven. And once again, getting involved in this whole ongoing feud between Taz and the King.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what's going on with Taz and the King nowadays. Possibly Taz should just stick to announcing and show up the King, show who the better announcer really is.
You love to mention the fact that Taz is announcing on Heat, don't you? You love that part.
Yes, I do.
Well, I don't.
Why not?
Because I think that I don't care about that now. But Taz decided to join the commentators on SmackDown, saying this is what we call the rub for the King. I mean, come on. And from there, it wound up being Taz and Raven on the receiving end from Al and from the King. Just Joe had a steam.
I think the King might just be jealous of Taz being on Heat as well. Kind of like somebody I know.
Yeah, there's a cover and a one count.
Come on.
Of course, on Heat this Sunday, not only will Taz be doing announcing duties, but also Chris Jericho's favorite band, Fozzy, is going to be in the house, performing live at WWF New York.
Man, I'd like to meet that Moon Goose McQueen. I hear he's a pretty cool dude, huh?
And, of course, Chris Jericho will be the guest host. A lot of people say that Jericho and Moon Goose McQueen bear a striking resemblance to one another.
Yeah, I understand Jericho got plastic surgery to kind of look like McQueen.
That's what the lead singer of Fozzy says. Which, of course, Jericho will be in the house at WWF New York along with his favorite band. That's Heat this Sunday, 7/6 Central on MTV. Big backdrop. Whoa! And follows up with the clothesline, does Al Snow on Just Joe. Hardcore title on the line a little bit later on as well, as Steve Blackman defends against Gangrel. And it looks like Al Snow is ready to end things. Al, of course, a former hardcore champion himself. And speaking of former hardcore champions, Crash in the house, doing battle later on. Oh! Nailed him. And Tom.
Now, wait a minute. What's Al Snow looking at his head for? He should have pinned Just Joe.
Looks as if he had the match sewn up right there.
Yeah. Well, this is stupid.
Well, again, you can never predict what Al is going to do, and now Just Joe makes him pay for it.
Yeah.
Plus, as we mentioned, highlights as the celebration took place Monday on Raw following the crowning of the new World Wrestling Federation champion. But we'll show you how the celebration didn't last long for Kurt Angle as he was pressed into triple threat duty later on that night. Highlights coming up in just a little while. Off the top rope, Just Joe slammed down. And now,
again, Al pointing at head. What is he hearing?
I don't know what he's hearing, perhaps voices from that head, but nonetheless. Wait a minute. He's risking disqualification here.
Oh, what a good move by Al.
You just buried him for it a minute ago.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Got the pin on that one.
What does everybody want? Here is your winner, Al
Fresno gets the win as we kick things off on Metal, a week in which everybody's talking about the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin. We'll show you all the highlights. Stone Cold and Rikishi later on in the hour.
Well, while Stone Cold might have got a measure of revenge at No Mercy, on SmackDown it was Rikishi who left Stone Cold Steve Austin bloodied and buried.